one side.
Getting anything? Oh yeah, I can see it. And not have second gear. I'm gonna go for it. Dang it. Welcome back to Hard Luck Garage. John here again. And I've been caught working off camera again. I don't even remember what I did the last time we saw this car, but this is my 1941 Chevy something deluxe business coupe. And I've been tinkering on it, and ever since I came back from the custom car revival, I think me and like 100 other guys are like have hardcore custom fever. So I got a little bit of a fire to work on this thing again. A couple more things to do on this thing before I can drive it. It's legal, it's got plates, registration, insurance, all that jazz. So I just need a couple things and we can hit the road in this thing. One of the things I did is hooked up the hood latch and hood release cable. And I've spent some time under the hood doing some wiring and things. I'm just gonna grab a flashlight real quick because you won't be able to see anything under here. Just gotta throw it on the ground too. I also wired in the regulator and the generator and switched it back to 6 volts with a 6-volt coil. It fires up, it runs, all that stuff works just like it should and like it did before when it was on 12 volts. But I removed the silly little toggle switch from the dash that was being used for an ignition switch. And the factory key switch actually worked, so that was really easy. I mean, the old wiring is all there and it was hooked up before, even on 12 volts, which I didn't realize, but nothing burnt up or anything. So I replaced that seat track that I had previously used, like some 2x4s and some metal brackets just to take the place of a seat track so I could sit on the seat without it like ending up behind me. So that's done. Seat stays in one place like it should. I also did the pitman arm bushings. They were basically gone. There was about a 2/3 of a turn of play in the steering wheel before anything would happen, and now it's nice and tight. Probably have to eyeball align it yet, but honestly it looked halfway decent enough to try and go up and down the road for the first time. The other thing I did that I forgot to tell you guys is I painted the red wheels this like off-white antique white color. I think it made a huge difference. I don't know if I love it yet, but it's way better than the red. And it's no longer the Santa Claus Christmas Express. So just wanted that color change, and I think I got a decent result. What do you think? Comment below. I need to figure out why it's not charging. And the other thing that I want to make sure I have before I try and drive it somewhat like a regular car is brake lights. I got the tail lights put in and they're all installed. The wiring is there, it's all connected, but I had no brake lights and I don't have any of the other lights like wired in how they should be. Without further ado, let's see what we can find with this charging system. I'm gonna start by pulling the cover off this regulator, see what we got under here. This was just kind of dangling under the hood here. Ever since I got it, it was just kind of there. Half of the wires were frayed, the ends were frayed off, and I just put it back where it goes so I could wire it. And I think I got it wired correctly. So nothing's happening, and who knows how long this thing was sitting here unused, untouched. So this would be an easy place to look and see if anything's wrong right off the bat. Based on the look of those screws, probably gonna find something disgusting under here. Oh! Alright, yeah, it's pretty nasty looking. Yuck. Oh, I can smell it. Okay, I'm just gonna use a business card in between these contact points to try and knock off whatever's there, if I can get it. Well, those were straight up stuck together, rusted. I have to use something a little stronger than a business card, but start here. And I've got the manual that can tell me what's what here. I've not spent a whole lot of time with 6-volt regulators and charging systems and stuff, so I'm kind of learning with you here. I think we'll just take this one step at a time and try one thing and see if it makes a difference. So I'm gonna see if this thing will fire back up. Well, I got the car running here. It fired right up, but my battery gauge doesn't do anything. Give it some RPM. It's kind of hard to tell if it's moving or not. It's really hard to tell. Just ticking over here. I don't think anything's happening over here or down there. So I guess we'll figure that one out. Starting to get dark outside. I'm gonna shut the door because it's easier to see in here. So I did some forum reading because the Chevy Bible wasn't really giving me what I wanted fast enough. And I think I'm just gonna try polarizing this generator. Probably wasn't supposed to be running it without being connected or whatever, but try polarizing it. You just jump the power wire and the armature wire at the regulator and you'll get a little spark, and they say when the spark happens, your polarizing's done. So let's try it. Okay, I just made up this little length of wire here. Battery's connected. And I'm just gonna jumper these two for a short time. And nothing happening. Okay, got a little sparkle out of it. I think that's all we need. All right, let's try to fire it back up again. Oh, we gotta have the key on. Heard that helps. Okay, I'm looking at the battery gauge. Ain't doing nothing. All right, let's hop out of here. See if we can see what the regulator's doing. Said if you go off idle, you're supposed to see the points close on one of these. So let's see what happens. They look like they're closed. We'll get a better look here. Those look closed, those look closed. I don't know. What happens if I shut it off? Did they open back up? No, they're looks like they're closed. by default. But it's also entirely possible that the battery is fine and doesn't need to be charged. So I think I'm gonna have to go to YouTube University on this and get back out here. But it's hot, sweaty. I'm out here for half hour at a time, so time's up for tonight. See you in a little bit. Alright, a couple days later, and there's a bug in my face. Been on YouTube, did some research on how these regulators are supposed to work, and I think my best bet with how nasty that thing looks inside is I'm just going to pull it back off the car and work on it on the bench. And I've got a couple things I want to try and make sure. Talk to you as I go. So let's get this thing off real quick. Looking at this regulator here, and these two coils, there's little like breaker point contacts in here, like right here and here, and it looks just like a set of points in a distributor. The two on the right are supposed to be normally closed, and they spring open when certain things happen in the coils to regulate current and voltage in the system. This one on the left side is normally open, and it closes to send, oh, how does it go? I don't remember. It's supposed to be normally open, and it closes when like charging is supposed to start. But this thing is pretty like chalky and corrody and stuff, but all the wires and things are still intact and connected. So I think I'm just going to start by cleaning up these breaker point pieces and seeing if I can get it to do anything. But it's easy enough to take it back on and off, just way easier to work with on the bench. So I'm gonna try that, see where I'm at. Okay, looking at this regulator again, I cleaned up between each one of these points. These two here also, I just used a little bit of 600 sandpaper. You might be yelling at me for doing that, but it was either knock the corrosion off this thing or toss it. I don't know. So I wanted to give it a chance. I cleaned up the terminals here with the little wire brush on a drill, and also over here, because these are where it grounds to the body, and I have to go make sure the firewall is clean where this grounds, but I wanted to give that a chance too. I'm gonna go take this over to the car, put it back on, see if anything's changed. I do want to clean up this spot on the firewall just to make sure we get a good ground, so let me grab a drill. Try to break through that red oxide primer. Alright, let's hop in this thing. Got everything hooked back up the way it's supposed to be. See what happens, see if I got a charge. Key on. Nothing happens, okay. Well, see what we got here. Don't know if we're charging. It might be. Might have to go look at some voltage. So I think it's charging, but it's really weak, or it's not. I definitely have some different stuff going on right now than I did before. I now have voltage at the generator, like main battery terminal, and it was putting out like 9 volts or something. I could see on this set of points right here that there was a little arc back and forth in between there. I don't know if these were closed or not. I think the fact that I had voltage down here at the main wire said something was going on over here. All that being said, there's nothing hooked up to this thing electrically except for the ignition, and like the lights aren't hooked up. Nothing is really there to put a load on it. So the crank of the engine drains the battery a little bit. It should start to charge as soon as it starts up to bring the battery back up. It's hard to say. I didn't check the voltage of the battery at rest, so maybe I should do that. But if it's charging very little, and maybe that's fine. But at the very least, if I want to go around the block, I don't think I'm going to run out of a battery. So I guess next step is see if I can get the brake lights to work. Then we're like at the point of taking this thing for a ride. So I'm going to set the camera up behind the car and hop in there and hit the brakes, and we'll see if it shows up with brake lights. If not, I'm going to check and see if there's power coming into the brake light switch on the master cylinder. We had that off last year when I replaced the master, and some of the wiring was a little dicey. I patched it up and got the insulation covered back over the bare wires, so I don't think anything's shorted. Otherwise we'd probably have a fire or some smoke or something. But I did check the fuse on the back of the headlight switch, and that is intact. I didn't check for power there, but we'll start where it makes sense at the switch. If I have power there, I can check for it in the back at the lights, and we'll go from there and see what's missing. But first, let's see if the lights work at all. I did bench test the right side, and it worked. Both filaments of the bulb worked when I just powered it right from the battery. So at the very least, that one should work. Let's just see. On the brake. I'm gonna guess we got nothing. So as you guys can see, no brake lights. So I'm going to creep under here a minute. It's easy enough to get at the wires at the switch. I'll try to get under there. Car's too low. So I'm going to see if I can get at that cover and see anything. If not, maybe we'll start testing at the back. Okay. Here's the top of the master. And I can't even remember where the switch is. Oh, I see it right there. I wonder if I can just test it. Probe it right through there. Let's try it. Got my meter here. I'm going to assume the master cylinder is grounded, and I will touch one of these leads, see if there's any power. Yeah, I've got power on one side, but nothing on the other. Might have to get another hand here and see. Maybe my switch is bad. That would kind of suck. Let's see if I can wedge this somewhere for a ground. Everything on this car is either painted over or I don't know. Not that many choices here. Or rusty, I guess. See if I can get a creative something wedged in here. My switch might be bad. Just gonna double check my power here. Yeah, I got 6.2 volts right there. And either it's not making enough pressure or I'm not holding a good connection on it. But I'm not getting anything out of the switch. I think I'm just gonna go to the back and make sure I'm not missing something here, but we got power coming in, so that's a good sign. I just got an idea. Since I don't have 3 hands and 6 feet, I'm gonna jump something across the switch terminals and just see if it sends power to the back and see if the lights work. And then if they do, I know for sure that switch is bad. So let's give that a shot. Set you guys up by the rear here, and that way I can see, because I don't got 4, 6 eyes, however many. I mean, if you count these two, then I can see if they're working or not. You get anything? No lights. Well, I've got good circuits to the back. That verifies that. I think before, and I'm just thinking out loud as I go here, bring you guys along for the ride. But before I go replacing that switch, now that I know that's where the problem lies, I'm gonna disconnect the battery, and I'm just gonna like scrape the terminals on that thing and see if I can get it to clean up at all. Maybe it's just got a bad contact down there, but I know now for a fact the circuit 2 and the circuit from the switch is good, just by doing a little bit of simple like power load testing, troubleshooting type stuff. So hopefully this is a little bit educational and you guys can see this stuff is pretty simple. The wiring on these is so simple compared to the stuff I work on every day. See if I can make anything happen there. Otherwise, we might have to postpone our drive or take it easy and just stay on those back roads, you know what I mean? Okay, got the battery connected up again. I cleaned up the wire terminal that brings power into the switch. It was really crusty and corroded. I just used a little drill bit inside the female bullet connector, and I scraped the male end on the switch with a screwdriver. We're gonna give it another shot. If it's not this, it's getting a switch, I guess. Well, that's kind of a bummer, but old car stuff, right? Guess I'll order up a switch. We'll see how long it takes to get here. I don't think there's a way I can make it work with anything I have. There's another master cylinder here with a switch in it, and I think if I'm gonna go through the trouble of switching out a switch, I'd rather just put a known good one in and be done. Don't have to do it twice. That might not keep me from trying to go up and down the road. So stay tuned. You'll see it right here in like a couple seconds probably. Well, here we are again. I got the new brake switch through work. Got a Napa part. It was really easy to get. Part number you can see right here on the box. It's a hot 90 something out right now. It's like the hottest day we've had so far. We're under heat warnings in Michigan, but I want to see if I can get this brake switch swapped out, and that way this thing's ready to rock. I kind of want to take it for a drive tomorrow. That'll be Sunday, so. Probably hear a fan run in the background. I'm gonna just throw this thing on time lapse and see if I can slam the switch in here and see if the brake lights work, and then see where we are and go from there. Okay, we're back under the Chevy. Here's my tools of the trade. I went ahead and swapped out that switch. You can see it right there. Super simple, unthread, thread in quickly before the fluid all leaks out. There's the old switch right there. Probably original. This is actually listed for like a 49 Chevy. I think maybe it was 53, 54. Can't remember, but you guys can see the part number on the box. I'm gonna hit the pedal, see what happens. Probably should hook the battery back up. That might make a difference. You never look as graceful on camera when you're using tools as you think you are graceful with tools. Okay, got a nice wide angle, should be able to see both lights. Here goes nothing. Getting anything? Oh yeah, I can see it. Oh yeah. Looks like we got brake lights. I'm debating whether or not to keep going on this thing for tonight because it's really hot, but I don't know. You guys don't go anywhere. I'll see what I figure out, but you can keep watching. I gotta say, it does run pretty good. I still don't think this thing is charging. That does move the needle a little bit. What if I hit the brake pedal? Okay, it dips to discharging. So that's a good way to tell if the lights work. Let's go brake pedal. Now we don't go into charging. Yeah, it's not going into charging, but that might be good enough for a rip up and down the street. I'd like to try to get it on some pavement because we live on a dirt road and this thing's gonna be rough. But I don't know. Maybe I'll charge the battery up overnight and see if I can get it to as full as it can be and see if we can hit the road in this thing. I don't see anything that keeps this from running and driving down the road. So, oh yeah, there's one more thing, and I want to do this before I get crazy. Might need this. Probably figure out a way to attach it, but put my papers in the glove box. This thing's officially legal. I know the 41 plates are cooler. They might stick around for shows or whatever, but I stuck a real plate on this thing because I wanted to be able to drive it without worrying about being in a parade or whatever. So just wanted to have the option to drive this thing as much as I want to. With the historic plates and the original plates, you're supposed to be driving to club events and parades and mechanical testing, and one could argue that every drive is a mechanical testing test drive, and where I drive, I'm in a one-man parade, and I'm the only guy in my car club. But I don't know, I'm a weird guy. I'm a rule follower, so not a real good hot rodder, I guess, but I don't know, take that for what it's worth. Alright, I think I'll get this thing pulled back inside and get it ready to run down the road. Stick around. Smoked a little bit. Just want to give this thing the best chance at getting me back home, so just in case it's not charging, throw it on the charger. I think the time is here. It's another hot one, Sunday. Got the Chevy in here. Hopefully we can get down the road and come back. I'm gonna try and make it short because I got somewhere to be. Got somewhere to be this evening, so just gonna try to go down the road, stop and come back. We'll see what happens. You guys be along for the ride. All right. Battery should be fully charged. A couple pumps of gas, keys on. And we're running. I do have to stop and get my wallet. Oh, the hood just popped open. Stop this in a spot where it'll stay. Okay. Let it warm up a little bit. And shut the hood. Okay. Hopefully nothing goes horribly wrong. We got a couple gallons of gas. Dirty, dusty, and hot outside. Buddy. I can't find second gear. Yeah, we got brakes. Might have to do some double clutching. get first gear on this run. I do not have second gear. This is going to be a short one. Let's turn around, I guess. I think it's a linkage issue because there were some goofy little springs holding the linkage on that I did not put back. But hey, got some nuts. Yeah, it does not go, so short drive. But hey, we're driving. Guess back in we go. It's also really hot. Flywheel must be shaped like the road we were just on. All right, good enough. Well, guess we learned something. The linkages don't work right. So I got reverse, but when I went to shove the shifter forward, it would not go into the gate of second and third. It just ground gears. So not really sure. I think it was actually trying to go back into reverse, which it's not that great. So I guess I got to figure out what the deal is with that linkage. You guys thought that was it, didn't you? Well, it's not. We're gonna drive this thing for real, I hope. I went under the hood and I ended up finding that there was a little lever that is pushed when you push the shifter forward and back to go between the two gates of the shifter, and it wasn't moving at all when you would push it forward to get to second and third gear. So I used a bungee cord to hold it like a spring. This thing had some springs on it when I first took it apart. I think they might have even ended up on the jalopy. But I used a little bungee cord and I did a little test where I let out the clutch just in here and I was moving forward in all three forward gear positions, which I think before it was getting first, and then I was trying to go back into reverse. So I don't know, we should be able to go normal speeds once we get on the pavement. I bought a second regulator off eBay. I kind of gambled a little bit, but I think I won. There is it looks like brand new on the inside. It just pulled it apart and pushed a little dent out. It looks like it's never been used. So either that or it was used and it was sealed really well. Either way, I'm gonna slap that on instead of messing around with this regulator. I paid like 13 bucks with shipping. So not a really big gamble there, and probably a better use of my time to swap it than to test and fiddle around with the other one. So I'm gonna toss on that regulator, see if it charges. We're gonna go for another ride. So keep watching. see if it fires up, and we'll see if it charges. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's up there. Hey! It's charging. Look. Now hold on, let me get you in there a little bit better. Look at that. Well, it's doing some funny stuff, but let's pull this thing outside. Up in the driveway and make sure we're good to go here. It'll be neutral. We'll let it get a little heat into it. Good enough. I'm looking for a seatbelt. There isn't one. Okay. See if I can find some pavement. Let's see if we got second gear in the driveway here. Hey, second gear. Okay. It's gonna be a bumpy one to get off the dirt. So let's just see. I'm gonna take the shortest way I can. Let's third gear. There's first. Maybe that's third. Maybe my lunch cord came off. Second gear. Oh yeah. Gonna take it easy on these bumps. This thing is like no interior, it's like a bucket of bolts. And I don't have a rear view mirror, so I gotta kind of watch what's going on. Ride. Already the farthest I've ever driven it. See if we make it to the stop sign. Oh, it hurts. How much this thing? There, that's probably first gear. Alright, we got some traffic. Waved at me, I guess. He's looking for my rear view mirror. I don't have one. I think we're just gonna try to go to the local bar, stop, turn around, and go back. Getting mouse poop from the visor above me. hand, was resting my hand on the shifter, and it's the vacuum shifter, and it popped back into neutral. Okay, this is the last little stretch of dirt. It's like a washboard. Back to second. Then we can open it up and see what happens. I don't know, the alignment is probably pretty bad. I kind of eyeballed it after I lowered it, did the steering pushing. So we'll see. About to hit the pavement here. I'm looking for my blinker and there isn't one. Okay. Stop sign. Make sure I get into first gear. A little bit of traffic, but I'm gonna go for it. I trust the speedometer, it says I'm doing 55. I don't think that's true. But battery's charging, oil pressure's up, temperature's hanging right in the middle. Gas is reading empty, but I know I got a couple gallons in it. Maybe I'll check speed on the way back. But I got traffic behind me. Go a couple miles up the road once. Yeah, I can tell the alignment's a little off. It's kind of pulling a couple different ways. But honestly, it runs pretty good. Yeah, I hit a bump and it goes one way. So, keeping an eye on the vitals. Got traffic behind me. Old car life. I'm doing, I don't know, I bet I'm doing 40. Speedo says 55. I don't think that's right. Where we're at. Park it and take a look around and make sure nothing fell off. Really feels good to be driving it though. Temperature's holding good. We got a little bit of charge, which is what we want. Get a bunch of heat from, I think, the heater core. Not ideal. Alright, I'm going to use the old trusty hand signal here. Turn it off here. Brakes slow down. That's good. A little bit of a chunk in the brake drums, but so it goes. Alright. Made it somewhere. I'm gonna shut it off. Did a little walk around, got both cameras mounted in the car, using my phone. I think we're good. Try and head back. I'm gonna set it up to check my speed and see how much slower I'm actually going than what it's telling me. Okay, good sign. Actually a decent running car. clutch just chatters a bunch. All right. See if we can go back home. Oh, there's no driveway here. I think the next thing I need to do is adjust the valves because you can hear them rattling a little bit. Here we go. Little grind in a second. I do love me a 3 on the tree though. Alright, so according to my phone, 41 mile per hour when the speedo says 50. So we were probably doing 45 when it said 55. Probably do that the whole way home, except on the dirt. But so we're doing 41 right now. The speed limit's 45 here, so let's at least try to do that. Alright, so right here, doing 48. 50 right there, and the speedo is telling me 57. So, not that bad. I don't know if I'd want to go too much faster than this. Need to check out some maintenance items first, I think, like transmission fluid, rear diff fluid. There's no ridiculous voices coming from anything. This valve rattle. And this is the farthest this car's driven in who knows how long. I really hope you guys can hear what I'm saying right now because I don't know, it's loud in here. I think my speedo cable is squeaking pretty good. Anyway, let's get home. Without getting covered in mouse turds. Something weird's happening. It's acting like it's running out of fuel. Try to limp it home as best as I can. Really acting like it's out of gas. It's bucking and surging. And then might quit running. Come on, baby. I'm getting a little bit out of it, so I'm just going to keep going. Could easily be running out of gas. I can't even hear if the engine's running anymore. Dang it. Good day for a walk, I guess. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to walk home. It's about, I don't know, a little less than half a mile. See if I can get any gas. I don't know, maybe I rock the car and see if there's fuel in it. Before I walk, I'm just gonna see if it does anything now. Just been waiting and looking at a few things. Nope. I don't have the key on. All right. Time to walk home, I guess. Made it back to the driveway. We grab a gas can, throw it in the old reliable Prius. I'm sure everybody loves that car. Good daily drivers though. Throw a can of gas in there, drive down to the car, see if she fires again. Up in the old Prius, grab a can from the barn and do rescue mission, I guess. One of my favorite things about this car is it's got air conditioning. It works really good. Oh, and the 40 plus miles per gallon does good too. Here we go. Pardon the bumps, but nobody stole my car yet. There we be. Turn this thing around without getting hit by the car, and I can put my actual flashers on while I try to gas this thing up. But I don't know if anybody's passed this car since I started walking, so who knows. There's a juxtaposition for you. Prius and 41 Chevy. Okay, I'm gonna grab the key, because if anyone would steal this thing, and maybe see what it does. Probably need to crank it for a bit, but here we go. Okay, we're running. So either it was out of gas or vapor locked or something, but let me get the camera set back up and see if I can drive home. Okay, let's try this again. All right, we're just gonna go. As long as nobody's coming. Here we go. Be a rough ride. Hold on. Oh, geez. Speed out or just quit working. Maybe the cable gave up. I'm going off the road trying to make sure nobody's behind me. Turn that way. Still running. Oh man, this is so rough. Okay. In the home stretch. Past all the corn. Looks like they just graded this road too. It's not that great. Alright, here comes the last grid and that's my house. Alright, here we are. So rough. Jeez, the gas can just fell over. But we're back. Alright, might as well just pull it back into park. Did you just quit on me? They just quit on me. Clearly a few kinks left to work out. Well, made it back in one piece, but it quit on me right before. Jeez, carpenter bees. Anyway, made it back in one piece, but it quit on me right before I got into the garage door. So I don't know what's going on. Something for another time, but it's gonna wrap this segment of this series of the 41 Chevy sight unseen to driving down the road. If you guys missed all the videos that led up to this point, check them out. I'm going to link it up in the corner. It'll be all part of this playlist too, so go back, watch all that stuff, and come back and relive the glory of driving this thing down the road. I gotta walk, get my car, but until next time, I'm John. This has been Hard Luck Garage. Thanks for watching.